Hi everyone, welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime called Higurashi. I can't believe we're doing this. So Higurashi, you have your boy Kenichi. He's the newcomer. He is new in the village. You get my waifu Rena, even though she's a sociopath, which I love her to death. She has butcher knives. And she's the character who dies the least apparently. Then you got Mion and Shion. They're both twins, sort of. Rika's the main protagonist. She goes through different worlds so that way all her friends can live without killing each other. I'll explain that later. And then you got her best friend, which I'll explain to her later because she is a main focal point in the third and fourth season. So the first two seasons, it's pretty much the, the clinic has a nurse and she's the main protagonist, main villain of that arc. Although it doesn't really seem that way because of reasons, but the first season is pretty much Rika is trying to figure out who kills her after the cotton drifting festival, because after the cotton drifting festival happens, shit hits the fan. Every character starts killing each other. The thing is the fact that Mion is the only character up until season 4 that doesn't kill anyone because she is more less affected by it because she's part of the household. So apparently there's this new virus that's going on. It's a parasite that's in Higurashi, which is the village that they're living in. Hirazawa, I don't know how to pronounce it. So there's that problem. So the first two seasons, the whole entire area gets nuked by a by political stuff. Like they're having a power struggle, and the people that are trying to nuke the village is they're trying to make sure that the government is like incompetent and stuff like that. That's all they're doing. So there's that problem. You can tell that they're bad guys because they have jumpsuits and they're doing stuff that they're not supposed to. However, Kenichi Rena is the character who dies the least, and Kenichi kills more than meets the eye. So the first two seasons, I have to give the following of the best parts of the first two seasons. The first season, best score ever. If you want to see some actual fucking murderous killing, you want that in. That first season is like it's nonstop killing. They fucking brutally fucking murder each other every 5 fucking seconds, and oh god, you want to see some blood? There you go, man. Blood is there, man. It will fuck your shit up. So there's that. The second season though is more storytelling because they're trying to, because the group of, even though the main characters Kenichi, Shion, Mion, Rena, Rika, and the girl with the blonde hair, sorry, they're all trying to figure out why does the world repeat itself. But the only person that remembers is Rika, so she's trying to stop herself from getting killed by this terrorist group, sort of, and the nurse, and they finally do that. So there's that problem. There's that part. And I think that's really interesting, to be honest with you, because that's where it gets a lot more interesting. Once they figure out how to fucking stop her, it's pretty much standatory. The nurse is still alive, which is a good thing. But that's pretty much the plot of the first two seasons. Then we get into the OVAs. The OVAs, there are two OVAs that have 4 episodes and 5 episodes. And to be frankly honest with you, the OVAs you don't need to take seriously because there's no fucking. Well, there is a murder. There is one plot that actually caught my eye, is where it's after the second season. There's no. After the second season, there's an OVA where Rika gets hit by a car because she's going down fast with her bike and she gets hit by a truck. She kills herself. Then she goes into another world where everyone's living their lives. There's nothing, and the dam's being, because the whole entire plot of Higurashi is the fact that the dam war is over, which the dam is the village stopped the dam from going. But this new world that Rika goes in the OVA, the dam is being uplifting, and everyone has to leave freaking the village. So that's the thing. So they switched it apart. So that's the main gist of that. Now, even though there's one plot, the only two OVAs that are actually serious, other than those three episodes, are the OVA from the last OVA, which was in 2013, which is 54 minutes. I watched it all, so there's that. Then you've also got the OVA after the first season, which is there's no killing whatsoever. So there's that thing. So that's the main gist of those two OVAs. The four OVAs where it has the happy-go-lucky themes opening theme song, it's just straight up nonsense. Like the fucking second episode, I believe, is about fucking Rika and her blind-haired friend decide to become fucking magical girls apparently. So yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah. Now when it comes to the third and fourth season, the third season has three scenarios. Well, technically four, but I don't count it because they're all adults and stuff. But well, high school students now. But except for Mion, because Mion's already graduated. But the third season has three scenarios, which they play homage to the first season a lot. Mainly due to the fact that Kenichi knows that he kills Rena and Shion with a baseball bat in the first scenario. Because they're all in scenarios, so they keep killing each other. It's like another world type stuff, but Rika's the main reason why he keeps going like that. So Kenichi kills Rena with a baseball bat, which is Mion. But here's the kicker: it does the same exact same plot. However, it's slightly alternates by having Rena's the one who gets killed, and everyone else dies except for Mion. Mion is the only character who does not die in that scenario. And that's due to the fact that Kenichi decides to open up the door instead of jamming her fingers in it like in the first season. So there are three scenarios that alternate from the first season and a little bit of the second season, sort of, but it depends on what it happens. But pretty much the characters keep killing each other and stuff like that. Now, the fourth season kind of wrapped things up a bit. It shows the first three scenarios of the third season. However, they show in a different perspective, like in the first and second season. Because even though there's 24 episodes, 26 and 24 episodes, some you go back to some older scenarios but in a different viewpoint from a different character. That's what they do. That's what the third season does. Fourth season does. But my main problem with the fourth season, though, is the fact that it feels like the same thing. Although it has 15 episodes, I can't complain. But that's pretty much about it. Now, when it comes to the strengths of the season and the OVAs, I have to say the first season is the best when it comes to its gore and blood. It is very creative on how they kill each character, and it's pretty fucked up on how they do it. The second season is really good storytelling, to my honest opinion. The OVAs are mostly there for comedy relief, which is fucking hilarious. On why the fuck? Because there's the first OVA that has five. The first episode is where Kenichi wears swimsuits that if he wears it for 3 hours, he starts loving himself, and everyone's trying to get him off, and then they beat the crap out of him. And it's pretty fucking funny. It's pretty fucking stupid too. So yeah. And the fact that the main villains of the first two seasons are in that OVA, and they act like a joke characters, which baffles the fuck out of me. So there's that. So the OVAs are mostly joke, except for like three plot points, which is the two OVAs that was singular about the first OVA that's after the first season. This the and there's two in the OVA where Rena gets hit by a truck, and the other one is the 54-minute behemoth of the OVA. So I did watch that. The third season's strength is I think that it catches you off guard because of the fact that you don't know what the hell is going on. But I think that when they kill the characters, they kill them in different ways, but it's not as blood as gore as the first season. I think the first season, when it comes to its blood and gore, is peak. Because I can't say that for the fourth season, because they censor a lot of shit. Especially they censor stuff in the fourth season, where in the third season they did not censor the stuff that they censored in the fourth season, which is the which is bullshit in my opinion. I thought that was fucking stupid. Come on, Crunchyroll, like have some consistency, you stupid fucks. So anyway, as I was saying, so those are the strengths and weaknesses of the anime. Now, where I rate this anime, 10 out of 10. I think this anime is really good. It was number two on my all-time list of animes. But because of, there's a reason why Higurashi is always going to be number two on my list. My list has my top five as No Game No Life, Higurashi, Collad, Mushishi, and Naruto. Now, I'm gonna change No Game No Life and Collab. And here's why. Because when I was watching Higurashi, it, there are a total of 100 episodes, but the second season and all the OVAs, which is a total of 35 episodes, are all not English dub. And I understand the second season because the first season's dub is pretty fucking bad. I mean, the third season's dub, and that's perfectly fine. I love the dub. It was actually pretty good. But the problem is, though, is the fact that if you can't dub, why would you not dub the second season in the OVAs? I get the OVAs because some of the fairy tale OVAs and the High School of the Dead OVAs, there's no dub whatsoever, which I understand that because it's too fucking ridiculous. Because it's an OVA, people don't want to record a fucking session of one episode for no reason. So yeah, but I don't understand why Higurashi has like 35 episodes that are not dub. And that brings me to my other problem with Higurashi, and that's why it's always going to be number two. Because Naruto has too many fillers. Mushishi, the second season sucks. That's why it only has 10 episodes on there, and I refuse to watch them. And then you've got No Game No Life, which is too short. Collad is going to be number one now because I think it's perfect, and Higurashi is the main reason why I like it. Now, even though Higurashi has 35 episodes that are not English dub, I watched the second season sub and all the OVA sub. I think Higurashi deserves to be at number two on my list of all time because I think Higurashi has more episodes than any of my top five favorite animes except for Naruto because Naruto has too many fucking fillers. But Higurashi has enough content that you can understand. It's mostly a mystery anime with blood and gore mixed in the second, third, and fourth season. First season is pretty much blood and gore all the way, man. You know what the fuck you're gonna get yourself into in the first season. Second season is a little more tamed when it comes to its blood and gore, but it still has it. Third season goes back to the roots of the first season. However, they do dim it down a little bit because they censored some stuff, which I don't know why. And then the fourth season just censors everything. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, I understand that you fucking, like, censored the stuff that you think it's all fucked up and stuff, but why would you not censor it in the third season? Because you never did that. Like, for example, they show fucking the blonde hair girl, because the blonde hair girl is the main villain in the freaking third and fourth season because she doesn't want to go to a school where she has to learn all this shit and blah this, blah that. You'll figure it out when you watch it. But she doesn't, because that's the last part of the first season. But the main reason why she doesn't want to do anything is because of that reason. Boy, but she is the main villain. The main villain in the first two seasons is the nurse, like I said before, and the girl with the blonde hair is the main villain of the third and fourth season. So it's like that. I don't understand why it's like that. It just baffles the fuck out of me. So I'm just gonna give this anime a 10 out of 10, like I usually do. Like I loved Higurashi when I first watched it. Baffled on how the fuck they get creative on killing other people. But I watched the whole series, so if you guys want to watch it, I highly recommend you watch it unless you're not really good with blood and gore. That's perfectly fine. I do understand. So stay positive. Hope you guys have a nice, positive day. And always stay positive, bitches. You know? Higurashi, man, it's gonna be. I'm gonna have nightmares for like 5 weeks.